Bhramari Shivaprakash. Srimati Bhramari Shivaprakash is the founder-director of Rama Nritya School of Dance and Cultural Trust in Mangalore. She is an accomplished Bharatanatyam dancer of the famed Vasundhara style. Bhramari obtained her Vidwat in Bharatanatya and mastered the intricate techniques of choreography under the tutelage of Dr. Vasundhara Doraswamy in Mysore. Bhramari Shivaprakash strongly believes in the fact that all the dance forms across India are creative within themselves and also can be creatively adopted to convey different themes and messages. In her career spanning 20 years, Srimati Bhramari Shivaprakash has choreographed over 20 dance dramas, many of them under the direction of Professor Udyavara Madhava Acharya of Samooha artists Udupi. Bhramari's recent dance experiments includes a full-fledged Maarga presentation based on Karnata Bharata Kathaa Manjari of Kumaaravyaasa, Sri Rama Nritya Namana based on Ramayana, Vainika Shikhamani Veene Sheshanna's compositions and a classical Bharatanatyam repertoire to depict the conceptual similarities in Saint Purandaradasa and Saint Tyagaraja's composition. Using classical Bharatanatyam techniques, Srimati Bhramari specializes in presenting solo thematic dance numbers based on epical female characters like Panchali, Damyanti, Jwale, Urvashi, Shabari and Devayani. These presentations have been conceptualized, penned and directed by the theatre director Professor Udyavara Madhava Acharya of Samooha artists Udupi. She has received senior scholarships for dance from state as well as from the central government, and also she is the Junior Fellow Ministry of Culture. Currently, she is pursuing her PhD in Regional Resource Center for Folk Performing Arts affiliated to Manipal University, and also she teaches History of Arts in Manipal University, Manipal and Srinivasa University, Mangalore.
ಬೆಂಕಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜನನ, ಹಿಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮರಣ, ನಡುವೆ 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 ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಜೀವನ ಜೀವನ.
ಬಾರೋ ಬಾರೋ ಭೀಷ್ಮ, ಏನನ್ನೇ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಗಂಡನಾಗಲಾರೆಯ, ಸ್ತ್ರೀತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಕೊಡುವ ಸಂಗಾತಿಯಾಗಲಾರೆಯ, ಸುಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚರ್ಯದ ಬಲವೆಲ್ಲ, ಸುಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ವಂಶದ ಕನಸುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ನ ವಂಶದ ಕನಸುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ. ಇದೋ ನೋಡು ಇದೋ ನೋಡು, ನಿನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣೆದುರೇ ನಿನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಸೆ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆಗಳನ್ನ ಭಸ್ಮಗೊಳಿಸುವ ದಿವ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ, ಸ್ತ್ರೀ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಉರಿದು ಉರಿದು ಬೆಳಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಅಮ್ಮೆ. ಬಾ ಬಾ ಬಾ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆಂದು ಅವನೆಡೆಗೆ ಸಾಗುತ್ತಿದೆ ಕೋದಂಡ, ಮದಭರಿತ ದಾನವರ ಮಾನವರ ಧಾಷ್ಟ್ಯವನೆ ಭೇದಿಸಲು ಛೇದಿಸಲು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಭುವನಾಭಿರಾಮ ಕೋದಂಡ ರಾಮ.
ತಾಂ ಧಿತ್ತಾಂ ತಕ್ಕ ಝಣು ತಧಿಗಿಣ ತುಂ ತಧಿಗಿಣ ತುಂ ತಾಂ ಧಿತ್ತಾಂ ತಕ್ಕ ಝಣು ತಧಿಗಿಣ ತುಂ ತಧಿಗಿಣ ತುಂ ತಾಂ ಧಿತ್ತಾಂ ತಕ್ಕ ಝಣು ತದಿಗಿಣತಂ ತದಿಗಿಣತಂ ಆಡುತ್ತಾಡುತ್ತ ಬಂದ ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಆಡುತ್ತಾಡುತ್ತ ಬಂದ ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ.
Namaste. I will be introducing you to 17 different solo dramatic dance presentations conceptualized, penned and directed by Kannada literature theatre director Udyavara Madhava Acharya. These solo dramatic dance presentations were staged over 20 years starting 1999. As famous American poet and memoirist Maya Angelou says, you cannot use up creativity. The more you use it, the more you have it. Fresh new themes and scripts are being added and are still being staged in and around the cultural city of Udupi by Samooha artists under the direction of Udyavara Madhava Acharya. In this talk, briefly I will tell the history, the plot, with short video clips of these Eka Vyakthi Rupaka. When we speak of creative dance dramas in modern India, we have to pay our humble respects to the pioneer of modern Indian, or I would say indigenous dance dramas, that is none other than poet laureate Rabindranath Tagore. I quote him from an article written on theatre. He says, "A poetry written may fulfill its purpose only through its performance. Portrayal of each character has its resources in poetry itself. So, I humbly dedicate this short talk and demonstration to that great soul who set an all-new pathway to Indian creative dance dramas." I thank my cultural friends, dancers Srimati Radhika Shetty and Srimati Renuka Ravi of Nrityangan and Nrityankur organizations for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Let us all join them in serving the arts and the arts community during this COVID-19 pandemic. It was the mid-1990s when cultural enthusiasts were exploring the possibilities in one artist theatre or one-man theatre or Eka Vyakthi Rupaka. Theatre artists and dance artists in different parts of our country were experimenting in this line. Creative director Udyavara Madhava Acharya, through his Samooha, an artistic ensemble based in Udupi, Karnataka, known for its creative theatrical experiments, also joined this cultural journey. Thus, in the year 1999, Panchali, a solo dramatic dance, was conceptualized, scripted, and staged using the classical dance medium of Yakshagana. Draupadi's eventful life was picturized with the tagline saying, "Agniyalli Janana, Himadalli Marana, Naduve Nanna Jeevana." A solo Yakshagana artist was then posed the challenge to portray mainly Panchali and also other associated characters. Various classical nuances of Badagutittu Yakshagana style were meaningfully choreographed to enact the story of Panchali with propriety.
This show was a huge success from its creative approach given to the theme as well as classical Yakshagana techniques incorporated. Thus started the saga of Eka Vyakthi Rupaka by Samooha artists, and the trend spread all over Karnataka in the later years.
बाबा रसिका मेट्टिले रे बाबा रसिका ಮೆಟ್ಟಿಲಿಲ್ಲದ ಇಂದ್ರಲೋಕದ ಆಗಸಕ್ಕೆ ನೀ ತೊಟ್ಟಿಲಾಡದ ತವರು ಸುರಸೊಗದ ಸೋನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಕನಸುಗಳ ಉಯ್ಯಾಲೆಯಾಡಿದ ಊರ್ವಶಿ ಅವಳು ಗುಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲದಿಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಮೃದು ಮಧುರ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಗಳ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿನಿ ಅವಳ ವಿಲಾಸ ಲಾಸ್ಯ ವಿನೋದ ವಿಹಾರ ವಿಲಾಸ ಲಾಸ್ಯ ವಿನೋದ ವಿಹಾರ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಲಾಪವನೆಲ್ಲವನ ಚಿತ್ತಭಿತ್ತಿಯಾದೆತ್ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಖೆಯಾಗಿಸಲಿ ಚಿತ್ತಭಿತ್ತಿಯಾದೆತ್ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಖೆಯಾಗಿಸಲಿ.
The protagonists in these scripts are chosen from classical literatures Ramayana and Mahabharata. Chosen character story is revisited with a newer point of view both in literature and on theatre. A thinker and a visionary in nature, director Acharya writes his stage scripts from the point of views of literature, theatre, music, dance, cultural and social significance. The melodic and emotive richness of Indian classical music and gestural language, that is Natya Dharmi technique of the classical dance and dramas, have attracted the writer to sketch the story around the chosen dance form. The dance forms chosen for choreography are mainly Yakshagana and Bharatanatya. The scripts are designed keeping in mind that a solo dancer will enact the story of a chosen central character along with the other characters that weave in and out central character's life. Director Udyavara Madhava Acharya has penned and directed the above scripts in various occasions. The scripts, which are written in particular for their singular adoption, have been performed by great performers like Dr. Vasundhara Doraswamy, Professor M.L. Samaga, Dr. Rajendra Kedlaya, Vidushi Sumangala Ratnakar, Vidushi Veena Upadhya, Vidwan Ramakrishna Kodancha, Dr. Vasumati Bhatt, and myself. Yakshagana scholar, researcher, critic Dr. M. Prabhakara Joshi, who has been observing the theatrical productions staged by Samooha, opines that Sri Acharya is one of the very few creative theatre directors of our area. He redefined what should be a stage creation or a Ranga Kriti. He can be compared to Pula Deshpande in his approach to presenting short stories on stage. About Sri Acharya's theatrical scripts, Dr. Joshi says that these scripts are complete organic creations which contain perfect relation and smooth flow of thought. And regarding Samooha's productions directed by Sri Acharya, these productions are full of interpretations, abhinaya, and unique way of presenting to the needs of the stage. They are fresh, inimitable, and do not form a pattern. Short introduction to the storyline of these plots. Panchali, a walk down the memory lane with Draupadi from her birth in the fire till her end in the snowy Himalayas. Bhishma Satyavratanadaddu, Bhishma Pitamaha's life as he reminisces on the bed of arrows. Bhava Nritya Namana, a theatrical touch given to Sri Krishna's wedlock with Sri Rukmini as described by saint poet Sri Vadiraja in his Samskrita treatise Sri Rukminisha Vijaya. Ganga Lahari, a story of river Ganga from her origin through her journey to earth, her life in earth from then till date, stressing on the necessity of keeping her pollution free. Ambe, story of bold and highly opinionated Princess rebels against the imperialistic approach from Bhishma, her rebellion coming to an end in one life with her suicide after she fails to achieve her love King Salva, but continuing in her next life when she is reborn as Shikhandi. Gandhari, the dreams of Princess Gandhari getting shattered when she comes to know that she has blind King Dhritarashtra as her husband. The story ends when Gandhari sadistically curses Lord Krishna in the form of a lullaby. Seelu Bidirina Sillu, Udyavara Madhava Acharya enacted this freestyle dramatic dance which is based on his own short story written in 1995. This plot narrates overview of Sri Krishna's incarnation as revealed to his ardent devotee Uddhava at the Prabhasa Kshetra. Shakunta Kujana, a story of celestial dancer Menaka and her abandoned daughter Shakuntala woven in narrative and conversational style. Sitaya Swagata, reminiscence of expectant Sita when she is left to fend for herself in the deep woods, inspired from the story of Uttara Ramacharitre. Dakshayani, story of Dakshayani retold in a new angle. Nritya Vyasa, this presentation depicts sage Vyasa's birth, life, his works, and his concerns to the welfare of mankind in depth. Jwale, defeat of Queen Jwale's patriotism in front of strong imperialistic Hastinapur kingdom. Hamsanada, Queen Damayanti being blessed by Lord Shiva to have King Nala as her husband in all births she takes. So the plot starts from a flashback to the present of her wedlock with Prince Nala and the reunion of them again in the Punarswayamvara. Urvashi, epic character Urvashi's longing to have a Purna Purusha as her companion and her failures with Pururavas and Arjuna. In the climax, Urvashi's curse turns out to be a boon to Arjuna and leaves audience thinking around the essence and message conveyed by our epic stories. Nritya Rasayanam Yentu Karna Rasayanam, Danavira Karna's story as seen from a dancer's point of view. Devayaniya Swagata, Shukracharya's daughter, Devayani's expectation of true love from Kacha and later from Yayati, and her life is the core persona in this script. Kodanda the Kone, inspired by the very unique story of Sri Rama Niryana, this Rupaka Sahitya depicts the role of Sri Rama's weapon Kodanda in his life and its transformation into the next avatara of Sri Krishna. Unique theatrical techniques explored and deployed in Samooha's solo dramatic dance presentations. A feminine decorative headgear called Kamala Mundale was designed and adopted for Panchali's character. This was a special design corresponding to the vibrant masculine headgear called Kedage Mundale used in Badagutittu style of Yakshagana. Stage script of Panchali saw 3 different theatrical adoptions. First, in Yakshagana style. Second, an amalgamation of classical Bharatanatya dance with classical Yakshagana music. Third, in Bharatanatya style.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಾಂತ, ಎಷ್ಟು ರಮ್ಯವೀ ಪಾಂಚಾಲ. ಈ ಕೃಷ್ಣೆ ನಲಿದು ಬೆಳೆಯುವ ಹಸಿರು ನೆಲ, ಹಸಿರು ನೆಲ, ಹಸಿರು ನೆಲ. ಆಟಕ್ಕೆ ಉಯ್ಯಾಲೆ. ಮಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೂಮಾಲೆ. ಸಖಿಯರ ಸಮೂಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಸ ಸರೋವರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಹರಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವ ಪಾಂಚಾಲ ರಾಜಕುವರಿ. ಅಬ್ಬ ಅವಳ ಚೆಲ್ವಿಕೆ.
A Kannada short story, Seelu Bidirina Sillu, presented theatrically, was first of its kind experiment. The writer Udyavara Madhava Acharya himself conceptualized the plot, rendered and enacted it, and it used musical bits as background interludes from different cultures of the world to signify the omnipresence of Shri Krishna.
ಸೀರೆಗಳನ್ನು ಗಂಟು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ಕೈಗಳಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನಿಲ್ಲದ ಬಲ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಸೀರೆಗಳನ್ನು ತಬ್ಬಿದ ಎದೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲದ ಹುಮ್ಮಸ್ಸು ಬಂದಿತ್ತು. ಅಮ್ಮನನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸುವ ಕನಸು ಕೆದರಿತು. ಆದರೂ ಏನಾಗಿ ಹೋಯಿತು? ಆ ಮುಗ್ಧ ಶುದ್ಧ ಮಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಷ್ಕಲ್ಮಶ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಹಾಲು ಮೊಸರನ್ನುಂಡು ಬೆಳೆದ ಈ ದೇಹ ದ್ವೇಷದ ದಳ್ಳುರಿಯ ನಡುವೆ ರಥವನ್ನೋಡಿಸಬೇಕಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ತುಂಬಿದ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಲಿಗಟ್ಟಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ಸೆರಗಿಗೆ ಸೊಕ್ಕಿನವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕೈಯಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹಕ್ಕು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸ ಹೊರಟಾಗ ನನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕನಸುಗಳು ಹುಡಿಹುಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೋದುವಲ್ಲ. ಬಂಧುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಆಟದ ದಾಳಗಳಾದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಕುಣಿತ ರಿಂಗುಣಿತ ಕರಗಿ ಹೋಯಿತಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೀರೆಗಳನ್ನೆಸೆಯಬೇಕಾಯಿತು ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿನ ಮಾನ ಮುಚ್ಚಲು. ಆ ಅಮ್ಮನ ಕನಸಿನ ತಂಪು ಮಡಿಲಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾವಿರ ಸಾವಿರ ಹೆಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಬತ್ತಲು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕೆಣಕಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬತ್ತಲು ಸಹಜವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಚಂದಿರನ ಬೆಳಕಿನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಹೂವಿನ ಪರಿಮಳದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಬೆರೆತು ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ದಂತ ಚಂದನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆರೆತ ನಾಡದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೂರಾರು ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಂತ ಒಂದೇ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಆಸೆ ಹಣ್ಣಾದಾಗ ಅವರ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಲೆಂದೇ ನಾನು ರಾಶಿ ರಾಶಿ ಸೀರೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಎಸೆಯಬೇಕಾಯಿತಲ್ಲ.
Actress herself sings and enacts. Director Udyavara Madhava Acharya has creatively as well as successfully deployed this actor-singer technique in two of his productions. In the solo act of Gandhari, live on the stage, actress herself musically sang and rendered the dialogues as part of her enactment. In the solo dance act of Urvashi, dancer presented the theme to pre-recorded audio which she sung and rendered herself. A special mention is that the musical ensemble in this pre-recorded audio used only drone, vocal, and the natvanga.
ಆ ದಿವ್ಯ ಮುಹೂರ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ನರ ನಾರಾಯಣರ ದೃಢ ತಪದ ಉರಿ ಹಬ್ಬಿದಾಗ ಅದ ಕೆಡಿಸಲೆಂದೇ ಬಂದರಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಪೂರ್ವಜರು ಸುರ ಪುರ ಸರಸಾಂಗಿಯರು. ಸಾಲು ಸಾಲು ಸುರ ಸರಸಿಯರ ಸರಿಗಮ ಸರಸ ಸರಸ ಮಗರಿ ಸಾಲು ಸಾಲು ಸುರ ಸರಸಿಯರ ಸರಿಗಮ ಸರಸ ಸರಸ ಮಗರಿ ಸಮ್ಮೋಹನ ಸೆಳೆತ.
The immense creativity in scripts and stage productions by Udyavara Madhava Acharya have set him apart from other theatre directors. A 2-year fellowship study sponsored by Ministry of Culture, Government of India on his performances has highlighted few references to similar techniques in classical dramaturgical texts. I will walk you through summary of those findings. Key features of these solo dramatic dances. They pose both the drishya as well as shravya capabilities. Songs are entertaining, written using lucid and awe-inspiring Kannada words. Touchy and competent musical composition provides ample opportunities for the dancers to explore varied Natyadharmi techniques. Most importantly, we can see a unique blend of indigenous theatre tradition, also the modern theatre techniques.
ರಕ್ಕಸ ಲೋಕದ ಭಾವಶೂನ್ಯ ಬರಡುತನದಿಂದ ಒಣಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವಳಿಗೆ ಮೋಡ ಬಿರಿದು ಮೊದಲ ಮಳೆ ಹನಿದು ಹೊಸ ನೆಲವ ತಂಪಾಗಿಸುವಂತೆ ಬಂದನಿವ ಎಂದು ಮುಗ್ಧಳಾಗಿ ಭಾವಿಸಿದುದರಿಂದ ಇಂದಿಗೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆ ಆ ದಿನ. ಮಳೆ 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 ಆ ಮಳೆ ಮಗದ ಮೊದಲ ದಿನ. ವರ್ಷಧಾರೆ ಹರ್ಷಧಾರೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ಫೋಟ ಮಿಂಚು ಮಾಟ ಕೂಡಿ ಗುಡುಗಿ ಬಾನ ಬೆಡಗಿ ಕೂಡಿ ಗುಡುಗಿ ಬಾನ ಬೆಡಗಿ ನಡುಗಿ ನಲಿದು ಧಾರೆ ಎರೆದ ಮಳೆ ನಡುಗಿ ನಲಿದು ಧಾರೆ ಎರೆದ ಮಳೆ 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 ಇಳೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ.
The plots are Mishra type as categorized by Dhananjaya in his treatise Dasharupaka. That is, the plots are inspired by Indian epics with a personal touch given by the poet. Traditionally, these scripts can be called Natya Prabandhas, which are specifically written for their stage adoptions.
ನಾಶವೇ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮುಖವಾಗಿ ಮಾತೆ ಸೀತೆ ಬಯಸಿದ ಶಾಂತಿ ಸಂದೇಶ ಹೊತ್ತ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನು ಕೋದಂಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಸ ಯುಗದ ಬಾಗಿಲನ್ನು ತೆರೆಯಲೆಂದೇ ತ್ರೇತೆಯ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಾವತಾರಿ
ದ್ವಾಪರದ ಹೊಸ ಕನಸಿನ ಹೊಸ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಕೃಷ್ಣನಾಗಲು
ಕೋದಂಡದ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯದ ಮಂಗಳ ಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದೋ
ಕೋದಂಡವನೇ ಕೊಳಲಾಗಿಸುವೆ ಕಟ್ಟುವಿನ ಹೊಸ ಗೋಕುಲವ ಕೋದಂಡವನೇ ಕೊಳಲಾಗಿಸುವೆ ಕಟ್ಟುವಿನ ಹೊಸ ಗೋಕುಲವಾ.
Stage technique wise, these presentations are Raga Kavya or Chitra Kavya type under the category of Uparupaka, that is, minor dramatic forms. This type of dance is enacted by a solo artist, mainly using Kaishiki Vritti with supporting Bharati, Satvati, and Arabhati Vrittis.
ದಿಗ್ವಿಜಯದ ಕುದುರೆ ನಿಂತದ್ದೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹಸ್ತಿನಾವತಿಯ ವೀರ ಪಡೆಗೆ ಹಿಂಬಾಲಿಸುತ್ತಿರಲು ಸತ್ಯಗೆ ವೃಷಕೇತು ಕೃತವರ್ಮ ಕೆಚ್ಚದೆಯ ವೀರರು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಥ ಕಿರೀಟಿ ಧನಂಜಯ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಸುಭದ್ರೆಯ ವಲ್ಲಭ ಇಂದ್ರನಂದನ ಸುಂದರಾಂಗ ಮೃಗಮಳೆಯೊಳಗಿದ ನೃತ್ಯ ವಿಶಾರದ ಮೃಗಮಳೆಯೊಳಗಿದ ನೃತ್ಯ ವಿಶಾರದ ಮೃಗಮಳೆಯೊಳಗಿದ ನೃತ್ಯ ವಿಶಾರದ ಚಿತ್ರಾಂಗದೆಯ ಚಿತ್ತಾಪಗಾರ ಚಿತ್ರಾಂಗದೆಯ ಚಿತ್ತಾಪಗಾರ ಭಿಲ್ಲೋಜನನುಗ್ರಗದಿನ್ನೂ ಲೋಕವೀರ ಶೂರ ಪಾರ್ಥ ಮೂಲೋಕವೀರ.
The Champu Kavya Shaili, that is the interwoven prose and poem recitation of the script with effective dance in a continuous 1 hour to 1.5 hours, aesthetically evokes rasa in the hearts of Sahridayas and leaves them spellbound.
ಅರ್ಥವಾಯಿತು ಶುಕನಲಿರಾಗ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಕವಿ ಹೃದಯಕ್ಕೆ
ಪೂರ್ಣ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಮಂಡಲವನ್ನಾವರಿಸಿದ ವ್ಯಾಸರೀಗ ಏಕಾಕಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಆಶ್ರಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಆದರ್ಶಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಲೆ. ಕುರುಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಕುರುಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ನಿರ್ಜನವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಡ ವ್ಯಾಸರು ಏಕಾಕಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಿಮದ ಶಿಖರವನ್ನೇರಿದರೆ ಹಿಮ ಶಿಖರ ಹತ್ತಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತು ಕೈಗಳನ್ನೆತ್ತಿ ಕೂಗುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಯಾರು ಕೇಳುತ್ತಿರದೆ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳುತ್ತಿರದೆ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಸವಾಣಿಯನ್ನು ಉದ್ಭವಾಗು
Finally, these scripts in varied hues and with their in-script directional indicators pose an open invitation for adoption to any theatre director and artist. Detailed post facto analysis of the scripts, video, and live performances could reveal further insights for the success of his shows. In conclusion, I would like to say that the solo dramatic dance scripts and presentations penned and directed by Sri Udyavara Madhava Acharya have the essence of Indian dance and theatre tradition, yet they are distinct and creative with their own merits. I conclude with a quote of Ramaraja Bhushanudu, mid-16th century Telugu poet, who says in his Vasucharitamu, "The old stories are precious stones straight from the mine, but ancient stories reworked by good poets with their irresistible imagination are precious gems perfectly cut." With these words, I like to thank Nrityangan and Nrityankur for this opportunity given, and I wish you all the best and be safe during this pandemic. Namaste.